Samantha Magistro, Chief Executive Officer of Services for the Underserved, Dr. George Petit, Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and please join me in welcoming the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul. Please welcome to the podium, Dr. George Petit.
Good morning, everyone. It's truly wonderful to be here on such a beautiful, cooler morning than we've had before to celebrate the beginning of construction of the first phase of the Starhill project. As an organization committed to advancing social justice, SUS's core value is rooted in creating opportunities for all. It is fundamental to everything we do and the foundation of the supports and services that we provide. We strongly believe that having a roof over one's head is more than just protection from the elements. Without the stability of a home, families cannot stay together, people cannot find employment or address their other needs, and challenges completely overwhelm, and life can quickly spiral out of control. The Starhill project truly shows what is possible when we all work together to help New Yorkers find home. The first phase of Starhill will create 325 units of supportive and affordable housing right here at 1600 Grand Avenue, Morris Heights. While we are here to celebrate and officially break ground today, this celebration was preceded by 6 years of pre-development work during which SUS worked extensively with our partners and the community on this redevelopment plan. The collaboration that has gotten us to here today is something that we are incredibly grateful for, and we believe this project is truly a reflection of the needs of the community. This project is also important to combating both the homelessness and addiction crisis. To address these challenges head-on, we have agreed to set aside 200 of the units for those dealing with substance use disorders and referred to us by New York State OASAS. Starhill will include a host of other amenities and services, including an urban farm, a gym, community rooms, wraparound social services, and to address the lack of community access to publicly available green space, we have planned 11,000 square feet of passive recreation space. Additionally, this project pays homage to the unique history of this site, which began in 1915 as Calvary Hospital, the only acute care hospital for terminally ill adults with cancer in the United States. In 1979, it became Starhill, which was a residential treatment facility for people with substance use disorders. While Starhill Treatment Facility helped many individuals over the past 40 years, by the time SUS acquired Starhill in 2014, the building had been deteriorating for many years. We are proud to say that upon its completion, Starhill will continue to be a place where people will be able to heal and stabilize their lives. Needless to say, we at SUS are excited to embark on the construction of this project, and we are grateful for its many long-term partnerships that made this deal possible. We look forward to moving forward with the construction, as well as getting the necessary funding commitments to start phase 2 of this exciting project, and eventually welcoming residents to Starhill. The milestone that we are celebrating today would not have been possible without the collaboration and support of our public partners in the city and the state, as well as our private lenders and the excellent design and construction team, as well as the amazing staff at SUS, but especially Arlo Chase, who for the last 6 years has been our visionary leader on getting us to this point. I especially want to acknowledge Mayor Adams, a true champion of the human services sector and affordable housing, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with the city. HPD Commissioner Adolfo Carrion, Chief Housing Officer Jessica Katz, HCR Commissioner Ruth Ann Wisnauskas, Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson, Assemblymember LaToya Joyner, and our partners at OASAS. And last but not least, I am truly honored to introduce to you someone who has been a true champion for people with disabilities, behavioral health challenges, and substance use disorders. Since taking office, Governor Kathy Hochul has been a true leader. Her first executive budget made historic investments in human service sector and understands the need about building more affordable and supportive housing across our state. We truly believe that the work that the governor has done sets the foundation for years to come, and we look forward to our continued partnership. Governor, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. A beautiful day in the Bronx, is it not? This is spectacular. Spectacular. It almost rivals the beach weather we had on Sunday with the borough president when she tried to give me a couple salsa lessons. But that didn't go so well. I'm still a beginner, but I just a reminder of how uniquely spectacular this community is. And I'm really proud to talk about this project, but first I want to acknowledge the leadership we have representing this area because they are making a true difference every single day. I'll be introducing the mayor in a minute, but I'll get to you, Mayor. But Vanessa Gibson, you took over in a tremendously challenging time. You're literally on the job just a couple of weeks last January. And when I saw you in the aftermath of a horrific fire that destroyed the lives of our residents, our citizens, our brothers and sisters, you were there with such heart and compassion. And I know that your new constituents respond to you, and they so appreciate the way you govern. And I thank you for being an amazing partner to myself and the people of the state of New York as well. Let's give it up for Vanessa Gibson. So I remember LaToya Joyner. I think this is my third day in a row with you as well. She is everywhere. She was up in the North Country, and her responsibility as chair of the Labor Committee, speaking to labor, and saw you in the Bronx, and I don't know where I saw you yesterday. I saw you all over the place yesterday. So our disabilities, it was the 32nd anniversary of the American with Disabilities Act. So you are everywhere. You're trying to rival the governor for travel, but that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a great state. And also to have Ruth Ann Visnaskis. When I see her in an event, I know that HCR is backing it, that we are transforming people's lives. And 8 years as lieutenant governor, I think I saw you more than I saw my husband during that time, because you were out there at so many events all over the state, bringing people the dignity of a home over their heads. And so I also want to thank Dr. Petit. This took vision to look at a building that was literally crumbling before our eyes and say, this can be reborn. And yes, you did shoot for the stars. And I know that in a couple years, when this is complete and people are welcomed home to this site, it'll be because of people like you and everyone at your organization who've done such a spectacular job. And Samantha, I'm going to get it right, Magistro? Okay, because I know how it is, your name gets screwed up. It happens to me a lot, okay? The Chief Executive Officer of Bronx Pro, thank you for making this happen. And everybody, it does take a large community to pull off a project like this, and I look forward to seeing the evolution of this. But I do talk about the Bronx a lot. Why do I do that? Because I'm from Buffalo. And what is the connection? Well, when I speak to my friends in the Bronx, I've gotten to know over the last decade, there's sort of a simpatico feeling, because both of our communities have been, I'm going to say, underestimated, sometimes disrespected, not given the credit we're due for the uniqueness and the vitality of it. So as I've come to the Bronx countless times, probably hundreds of times, I really do want to help lift this community up and remind people that you have something so unique here. You have beautiful attractions, you have waterfronts, you have a world-class botanical gardens I've gotten lost in. The zoo is amazing, your educational institutions, but most importantly, the people who never gave up on this community. You fought back through some tough times, whether it was reputationally, some tough movies that kind of defined this area for a long time, and we all knew that that was not the Bronx we know and love. And people who live in the Bronx have that sense of a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, you got something to prove, and my God, you are proving it. Because people want to live in the Bronx. This is the hot property of this city. And I'm so excited that we're here to do something to address a challenging problem that is everywhere. But affordability, the cost of housing, is a barrier for so many people to be able to offer their own children a better outlook in life. So we are here today to address that crisis, and something that I believe strongly in as an individual who has put a lot of money behind this, because it's not going to happen without real investment from government. This won't happen on its own. And that's why I'm working so hard every single day to make sure that the $25 billion, 25 with a B, billion dollars we're putting toward 100,000 affordable housing, projects like that happen right here in the Bronx. So that's exactly what we're doing here today. We were doing many affordable housing projects. I was just in Co-op City a couple months ago, $621 million that's going to be reinvested into, preserve affordable home ownership. We are also going to focus on the other projects. It was literally just a couple days ago when I was announcing that we have new projects here, more affordable housing. And also, there's one I just want to mention. I just not seen it. We were just here literally a week ago to announce another 174 projects, units coming here soon. So that's what I'm focused on. And I want to let people know that right now, 60% of Bronx households are rent burdened. What does that mean? They spend more than 30% of their income on rent. Well, just earlier this week, I was talking about how people are spending 30 to 40% of their income on childcare. So add that up. You're someone trying to pay for rent, and you got a couple of kids who need childcare because you need to have a job to pay for this. It doesn't add up. It does not add up. And people are so overburdened today with the high cost of living, everything going up and up and up. So what we can do as real partners is to provide the facilities, the location, support people, but also just say, you in the private sector, we're going to do this with you. And that's what I'm really excited about with this project. So here's what we're talking about. Over 326 new affordable apartments right here in Morris Heights. 326. This is phase one. It's going to help address our chronic shortage of high-quality homes. But also, very important to me, over 200 of these homes are going to be for people who've been homeless, who experienced some of life's challenges, whether it's substance abuse or mental health challenges. They'll be able to get the supportive services, not by trying to travel across town and go see somebody who might be able to help them someday, maybe in between their jobs, but right here on site. That, to me, is transformative. That's how we help people who just, life's a little bit too hard for them sometimes, and they need a helping hand. And that's what we do with projects like this, just lift them up. And that's why this is going to be so successful. And as Dr. Petit mentioned, the site of this really speaks to what has happened here throughout the history of this site, taking care of people in need, whether they were the cancer patients, whether they're people who needed additional services up until the last couple of years. And now to be reimagined as a beautiful site that is going to be a home, but also walking spaces and places to exercise and get their lives feeling so vibrant again. We also last week announced the construction at 1761 Walton on Mount Hope. That's a $55 million project with 103 projects. We have invested over $1.6 billion over the last day, $1.6 billion in over 16,000 units here. And I'll say we're just getting warmed up. Then we're nowhere near done. We have a lot to do, but this is an important start to make sure that hardworking New Yorkers can stay in their homes. I'll also say that our budget, and thank you for recognizing our historic investments in human services, in people, investments in people. We also put $800 million toward the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. What is that? It helps people from losing their homes because they could not make the rent payments. We also have subsidies for people to help with their fair housing testing and education, legal assistance for people who are on the verge of being evicted. So we have a holistic approach, all of it geared toward one purpose, giving people the dignity of a beautiful home and allowing them to stay there. So we're going to continue working together. I'm very excited to be here today, joined by another individual, a partner in government, who shares the same values that I do, that people deserve to live in a clean, safe, healthy environment that is a basic human right of everyone, but particularly here in New York, where in my State of the State, we spoke about people came to here. People come from all over to enjoy and understand the promise behind the American dream. We offer people in this state the New York dream. This is part of making that dream come true. So thank you to everyone involved. Mayor Adams, take it away.
Thank you, Governor, for your understanding that from Buffalo Avenue in Brooklyn to Buffalo, New York, to the Grand Concourse, to South Jamaica, Queens, we must reinvest in our city and state. This is another step forward, and I just want to thank my colleagues in government, the councilwoman and borough president, but also my amazing team members, the Commissioner of HBD, Adolfo Carrion, and my Chief Housing Officer, Jessica Katz, who brought just so much vision and energy to this real pursuit of giving people the housing that they deserve. And when you think about it, this hole in the ground, once it's completed, it's going to fill the hole in the hearts of people who felt as though this city did not belong to them. It's going to give them an opportunity, a vision of hope. This is a day of hope. And phase one of the Starhill development is delivering affordable homes to New Yorkers. And this is how we change lives. I think you're right. A house is more than four walls where people enter It is a precursor to sleep that allows you to experience the American dream. And too many people are living the perpetual nightmare of not believing that they're part of the American dream. And we're saying today with the 326 apartments that you are part of the American dream. That kitchen is a place where you sit down and talk about your first day to college. The sofa is where you share the living room experience of watching a movie or talking about a difficult time. You sit by the sink and learn how to cook your first meal with your family member, or being tucked in at night and your family member, mom or dad, just read a story to you. Those memories are real, and those memories are not real when you're living on the street or you're living in from shelter to shelter to shelter, or you don't get the support that you deserve. This is a mission of hope and opportunity, and today we are fulfilling our obligations to do so. And the 200 apartments for family and people impacted by substance abuse is a real issue. As I walked through the streets of Harlem the other day with Shams LeBaron, the homeless advocate, and saw the number of people living on the streets, and as we talk to them, they're dealing with real mental health illnesses and substance abuse concerns. And so I'm really proud as I look over the numbers, the 45 for extremely low and very low income New Yorkers. We contributed $30 million as a city in capital funding to this project. This is where our money should go. This is where taxpayers' dollars should go, because we know that a safe, stable, and affordable housing is fundamental to the prosperity and enjoyment of this city. And I agree with the governor. For far too long, the Bronx has been denied. And we have to be honest about that. And the governor stated she was up here several times during last week and this week, and I was up here with Vanessa and her, other elected several times, really focusing in on these areas that were historically denied. And it's more than just housing, it's a second chance. It helps to reclaim lives and reclaim hope and prosperity, and we know that the permanent housing can transform lives, and that's what this mission is about, and nothing does it better than supportive housing. It just makes sense. When those who are in need of supportive housing use the emergency room as their primary care, that just costs too much. When we wait until they are going through some form of mental health crisis instead of preventing the crisis, that is just not economically sound. And so the work you're doing is not only personal, but it's profitable. It's putting the health and well-being of your clients and the clients of the city on the front line, in the front of our minds. And so improving the streetscape and recreational areas, this is just our way of saying we are going to partner together to get stuff done. Clean, safe, affordable housing. We are at an opportune time where we have a governor that has the vision throughout this entire state, and local electeds who are identifying locations within their geographical areas and say, here's where the partnership takes place. Community, public, private partnerships. Those are the winning deals that allows us to fill this hole. And when we fill that hole, we're going to fill the hole in the hearts of people who deserve better. Thank you very much. I want to bring up a good friend, amazing borough president from the BX, Vanessa Gibson.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Good morning, everyone. Today is such an amazing day and an important moment in the history of this great borough of the Bronx. Today is a day in which we recognize that this project is going to be a beacon of hope and a beacon of opportunity for hundreds of New York families. As the new Bronx Borough President, 7 months into this position, I am so proud to stand before all of you and join with all of our officials, our Governor, Kathy Hochul, our Mayor, Eric Adams, our Assembly Member, Latoya Joyner, our Commissioner of HCR, our Commissioner of HPD, number 12 in terms of Bronx Borough Presidents, and the family of SUS and Bronx Pro, and really every partner. I remember this site as Starhill. During my time as a member of the New York State Assembly, I remember when Palladia ran this program as a residential treatment facility for hundreds of clients that were living every day with substance abuse and other disorders. And we used to hold an amazing array of events. I remember the graduations when clients fulfilled their drug treatment programs and were graduating from Starhill. And many of them were moving into independent living. And the best thing that we were doing at these graduations was giving them a key to their brand new apartments, allowing them stability so that they can lead productive lives. I remember poetry night when we gathered together and we listened to spoken word from many of the clients because everyone had a story. Everyone had a testimony to tell about their struggles and their survivals. But guess what? Through it all, they saw the end of that line. They saw the victory. And over the years, as I served in the New York State Assembly, working here with Palladia and Starhill, and realizing that the infrastructure was falling apart. But I think about all of those clients, many of whom are now living in other parts of the Bronx, here on Grand, here on McCombs, other parts of Morris Heights, and the rest of the Bronx. And this is really, truly what it is all about. These collaborations with government and the private sector remind New Yorkers that all hope is never lost. As we talk about affordable housing, quality, safe housing, it is a part of our democracy. It is a fundamental human and basic right to have an affordable housing unit, to have all of the complementary services and other amenities. And this project, 326 new units of affordable and supportive housing, is going to be transformative. It is going to be groundbreaking. And guess what? It is going to change lives. I also want to remind many of you that this project was a part of the Jerome neighborhood rezoning plan that we started back during the city council, myself and former council member Fernando Cabrera. In 2014, we had a vision. We worked with tenants and organizers. Not everybody saw the vision, but we knew that this community could welcome several thousand units of housing. But we knew that in addition to housing and raising the density, we had to take care of neighborhood amenities. And what we saw and achieved, $50 million in DOT infrastructure work, $60 million in new park spaces, just like we just cut the ribbon at Bridge Playground earlier this week, making sure that Corporal Fisher Park and other parts of High Bridge and Morris Heights were fully invested in. $200 million of capital infrastructure that is coming to this community, Community Board 4 and Community Board 5. And so I could not be more proud. People didn't see that vision in 2014. And when the New York City Council overwhelmingly passed the Jerome neighborhood plan, we knew that this day would come. We saw this day. And so I am just so proud. It's an emotional time because I think about all the clients that we have served here. And now I think about the future families that we will continue to serve. Affordable housing, supportive housing for many families today that are rent burdened, that spend more of 30% of their income towards rent. It is unacceptable. Think about all of the additional programs that will come through Services for the Underserved. Thank you so much to the SUS team who I've worked with many, many years. Jerome Avenue, Melrose North. We've been through this for quite a while, and we keep building and building and building so that we can create a stronger Bronx. But the trauma-informed care, holistic services, social services, access to primary care, mental health services, that is the component that is going to stabilize many of the families that we will serve here. It's much more, ladies and gentlemen, than just providing a roof over someone's head. It is the supportive services, the clinical care, making sure that we connect residents with services like employment and literacy skills, financial empowerment, building up the job sector, the economic opportunities and the value. We always talk about public safety, and Mayor Adams and Governor Hochul get it, because we know the pathway to prosperity is through public safety, but guess what? It's also through affordable housing. And so this project is not only representative of the future, but it also is representative of our commitment, from HCR to HPD to HDC and every other acronym. We are just so excited about today. And most importantly, as the borough president, I want to say thank you. Thank you for believing in the Bronx. Thank you for never giving up on all the hopes and all the possibilities. We've been through a lot in the Bronx, but somehow we find purpose through our pain, and through the storm, we find strength. I want to thank all the elected officials that were involved in this project, certainly our state senator, Jose Marco Serrano, our assemblywoman, Latoya Joyner. I want to thank former council member Fernando Cabrera, our new council member of this district, Piarina Sanchez, +1. Councilmember Sanchez, we thank you because you are a part of this when she worked for the administration. And of course, I have to acknowledge Community Board 5. I want to thank Ken Brown, our district manager, and Dr. Bola Omotosho, who's here, our board chairperson. This came together because community was driven with a vision, with a passion, and with a blueprint. We knew that this project must come to fruition, not just for our children and our families, but to make sure that we are building the Bronx that we rightfully deserve and want to see. So to everyone involved, to all of our officials, thank you so much for investing in the great borough of the Bronx. Now it's my honor to introduce our wonderful president and CEO of Bronx Pro Real Estate, someone who I've known for years. She is my friend, my sister. We have broken ground on many apartment buildings and also cut the ribbon on many new ones. And Bronx Pro has a long and deep history and commitment in University Heights, as well as in Morris Heights and other parts of the Bronx, and I'm so proud. When I know Bronx Pro is at the table, I know projects will be successful. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our Madam President, Samantha Magistro. So happy for you.
How do I follow up that wonderful speech, right? Done. So good morning and thank you everyone. Governor Hochul, Mayor Adams, Borough President Gibson, Assemblywoman Joyner, Councilwoman Sanchez, Dr. Bola, Community Board 5, all of our distinguished guests and dear friends who have joined us here today. I'm very proud to be part of the Starhill project. It will be transformative for Morris Heights community, a neighborhood that I've worked in my entire career. In fact, Bronx Pro and Home Builders offices are just up the hill at 1605 University Avenue. In planning these remarks, I was thinking about the importance of this moment to me, as well as all the moments and investments that lead to a project like this happening. I also thought about my core values of growth and connection. So here is what I came up with. Growth. There is intrinsic value to growing neighborhood-based businesses. Bronx Pro began development because New York City and HPD had the vision to invest in local property managers and teach them how to be affordable housing entrepreneurs. I met many neighborhood entrepreneurs tagging along with my dad to meetings in the early 2000s. These entrepreneurs were diverse and they were community-based, and they were women and minority developers from all 5 boroughs. It wasn't until I was sitting in different rooms many years later that it occurred to me how extraordinary this was. 25 years ago, Bronx Pro was a business of 15 people, maybe a little less. Now we employ over 110, that's what I meant to say, but it's 112. Many of who live here in the Bronx. Investing in affordable housing created these jobs, and now it keeps these jobs in place in a time that continues to be, for us, pretty uncertain. Connection. You fly higher when you connect to your work and the people around you doing it. To riff off something a friend recently said, I lead with all my identities front and center. Mother, friend, housing developer, and CEO. I don't leave any part of myself at the door when I come to work. Yet I still struggle to call myself a CEO in public, maybe due to my reserve, or perhaps my socially conditioned modesty. But getting the opportunity to share the stage with the first woman governor of New York and the first woman Bronx Borough president, I do feel pretty inspired to claim it here today. I also feel lucky to be in a state, a city, an industry full of women leading with their whole selves and changing the world with their drive and their talent. And so many of you are here with me today. But I'm sure that you all can agree that it's not always easy to be a woman, to be wild, to be outspoken, to be audacious, to dream the big dream. There was some personal doubt about applying to SUS to develop Starhill. Can we develop at this scale? We're growing. Can we demolish this building? Am I enough? I leaned in and I decided to run my own race. I decided to phase the project in our proposal, to use a visionary architect that we both love, to believe in the talent of my staff. And here we are today. Oh, I'm sorry, there's one more part. And then I also reminded my partner of our trust and connection. I knew there was one more thing that reminded us of connection. And here we are today. And Bronx Pro, a women-owned development company, is taking a step forward. And we're joining the tier of large-scale New York developers. There is a special connection to the people that push and encourages a woman forward when that sneaky imposter syndrome shows up. I do see all of the leadership you put in place, Mayor Adams, and it means something to me. I'm lucky that I have many of those supporters, a lot of which who happen to be strong, and I have to say it, opinionated men. First, thank you to New York State and New York City for investing in growing women-led businesses, not just in the housing itself. I appreciate Enterprise, Chase, and the Corporation of Supportive Housing, who have always grown with Bronx Pro and whose confidence in me always helped me take the big swings. Bronx Pro and the family, a strong home team, is the foundation for even getting to bat. And last but not least, I want to thank you, SUS, and specifically Arlo Chase, who also got a shout out already today, but here we go. You are the OG Starhill developer, working with dedication to bring its vision to life for the last 6 years. You are my colleague and my friend, and you had the faith to work with Bronx Pro even before I truly had that belief in myself. We are truly the lucky ones because we get to do this hard work together, along with Justin and Martha, who aggressively pushes us towards greatness. I'll conclude by saying it is this community and it's these partners that Starhill will always be a life-defining project for me, my personal breaking the glass ceiling moment. And as I like to say, best of luck to the construction team. Let us finish on time and on budget. So this is the end of our speaking program. I'd like to invite speakers and VIPs to join us for the official groundbreaking photo. Thank you.
Please remain under the tent during the groundbreaking photos.
Dirt and toss it in 3, 2, 1, right here. We'll do it again. Ready? One more time. 3, 2, 1, right here. Yeah. You good? Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Do it again?